what we've managed to achieve here, and I'm just double checking everything, I guess, is that we're still paying rather a lot on interest because of our, let's say, our extra amount that we're paying in. But I mean, if you can afford more than $50 and you can add in 60 or 70 or $85, it's just going to shorten this continuously, and it's going to reduce your interest lower and lower and lower. But obviously, we're looking at a long-term strategy. This has to be a constant payment scheme. As you can see here, we were sitting at August 33, 2033, and we've now reduced this to October 2027, and I think we were only starting to pay our capital on July or June 2028, because everything prior to that was actually interest. So as you can see, you have a massive effect here where if you take out the additional payment, you would pay interest for longer than what we've actually paid off the entire month. So what you've got to do is you've really got to focus on working out exactly what you can afford, and you've got to keep it as a constant. I just want to go back to those payments here. If you have a look and you go back to this page, you can see how we've reduced it as well. It's pretty much the same as the first. As the first page. But what I want to bring your attention to as well is you can do these calculations. So you would have an idea that the final payment would be in September 2018. So what you would do is you've got to add this additional $50 into your budget and try and create an automated debit order or a stop order, whichever you feel comfortable with, to this actual loan account, so that it becomes an actual constant the entire time. And then when it comes to obviously now the October month, where not the entire $50 will go through because you've got the balance of it, that you work through this month on a, let's just say, a manual basis, and then in November you add the additional 80 to the 50, and you make sure that you increase your payment stop order or debit order to the $130, because you've already living this lifestyle where this money is not yours. It's not part of yours. It's still going towards your debt. None of this money is yours. You must see it as an actual payment to these loans, and you're not allowed to touch this money. Be extremely strict with yourself. Yeah, I know it's easy to say, but if you can focus on this principle, you can reduce massive amounts of debt quickly. I mean, as you've seen here, we've reduced the month from 227 to 157. So that's 70 months. That's 5 years. We've reduced the interest from 40,627 to 23,480. So that's another $17,000 saved here. And if you had to work out the 70 odd months times the 270, it would probably give you another, I can't figure out not the greater maths, but I would say another couple of thousand. So your savings here, just by doing this $50 extra a month, is probably going to come to a figure of about $25,000 to $30,000 saving than if you were just sit with this current system and just pay. And that's what this whole debt demolisher technique is about. It's about making you aware of how much money is actually going to the banks and the financial institutes on interest. I I managed to create an what can you say, an excess, a surplus of $175 odd dollars a month from reducing some insurances, vehicle insurances, medical insurances, life insurances. I didn't stop them, I just reduced them, I just got better rates. This took me about 45 to 60 odd days to get this done. Some of it was quite quick. And then as soon as I started implementing that, I paid off my one credit card. I think I was sitting at about 5,000. I paid it off very, very quickly. Then I rolled that into the my car, and I've paid that off, and I'm now sitting into the position of a property. And I've even calculated that into the equation on my spreadsheet as one of the debts that I inserted. And if I carried on with that roll-on effect, I would have that paid off, and I think it came to something like 29 months or something like that, just by carrying on, because I was used to living without this money here, and obviously plus the additional money that I put to. So, I mean, if you can get this to an amount of $400, you would probably bring this down to 15,000 or 17,000. So, you need to play with the sheet and be true. Don't fool yourself. Make sure that you have your balances right and your interest right and your payments right. You can play with how much you're going to put in terms of the $50 that we've put as our example here, but make sure it can be a constant commitment. If it's going to push things into a higher stress level that we've already discussed, then rather just bring it back a bit, because even if you put in, instead of this constant $50, even if you put in an amount of, let's say, $35, it's still going to have an effect. So just remember that. Don't be overzealous with yourself, and don't push yourself out of your comfort zone. But commit to something, and all good things come to those that actually try. And it is something that you're going to have to work on. I mean, if you can reduce a couple of payments, expenses by a couple of dollars, and that can accumulate to $100 a month, and you can add that to this amount. Fantastic, because the trying to think of the word now. The sacrifice that you would have now is going to pay off so much in the long run that it's definitely going to be worth it. So I hope I've shown you some great techniques. There is a support email with this e-course, so if you have any questions, please email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible on that. As well as you can get some further information from Vertex 42 on some other different calculations, but just understand them very clearly before you go and play too much. And like I say, you can say the different scenarios, and then write down obviously the main figures, which is what you're looking at is what's the interest rate, how long is it going to take you to pay, and of course how much you can add to it. So I hope I've educated you with some great information here and some great techniques, and I will see